The first thing that we want to talk about when it comes to social media etiquette is I call understanding the 80-20 rule. Okay, here's what the 80-20 rule is. 80% of the content that you are going to be posting should actually be lifestyle content. Okay, now you might be thinking, well, wait, you don't mean that all of the content I post is supposed to be about my business? What? No, okay? Again, remember, the social media platform is designed to socially connect. And how you actually create connection with people is by sharing with them all the fun things that you're doing in your life, okay? If you have children, maybe that's if you cook dinner with your family each day, or maybe during this pandemic, you guys are playing board games or you're doing different things inside the house. Those are lifestyle things that you want to be posting, because that gives viewers and people who are looking at you from social media perspective, it gives them kind of a view of who you are and what you're all about. Okay, so remember the 80-20 rule is 80% lifestyle, 20% is where you're going to start posting about business. Now, the exercise that all of you, I want to do tonight as an exercise, you can do it right now if you think you've got some of these ideas flowing in your mind. Otherwise, you can do it later as an exercise tonight. But there are specifically taking what I call the 5-category approach when it comes to social media content, okay? This 5-category approach is essentially finding 5 specific things in your life that you're really, really, really passionate about. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you what my 5 categories are, okay? And if you understand your 5 categories and what you're passionate about, these are the different types of content that you can be posting on a daily basis once you get those 5 categories. So let me start by giving you an example of what my 5 categories in my life that I'm super passionate about, that if you don't already follow me on social media, when you do start following me, you will immediately know that these are my 5 categories, because this is the type of stuff that I'm posting about day in and day out, okay? So the first category that I have is entrepreneurship, right? I am a self-employed business owner. I work from home, and so I love talking about entrepreneurship. Now, when I say talking about entrepreneurship, this doesn't mean that I'm on Facebook blasting Tranont all over my social channels. It may be me posting a picture of myself one day and talking about how I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to become a business owner at home, right? So it's not necessarily just posting about Tranont. So we'll get into the whole content strategy here in a second. The second category that is one that I post a lot about is health. I am a health nut, okay? I love reading books about health. I follow a ton of very smart people who are even smarter than me in the world of health. I read a lot of their content, and that's how I learn. And so in fact, yesterday, I just posted up something about health, and it wasn't even my content. It was somebody else's content. I gave them kudos and I said, hey, I found this from this person. And I posted this incredible health education around gluten and the importance of why nobody should be eating gluten. Okay. Mm-hmm. My second category is health. My third category, and all of you, again, if you're following me, you know this, is finances, right? Finances. I love talking about money, whether that's making money, saving money, investing, real estate investment, whatever it is. I just love talking about finance, okay? My fourth category that I love posting things about is food. I am a foodie by heart. I love to eat food, whether it's good food or junky food. I just love food in general. So I love showing pictures of food. And if you follow my husband, he also loves food because we're both foodies. So you'll notice, follow my husband's Facebook or his social media Instagram, and you'll literally start drooling from the mouth because he's got pictures of food everywhere. He loves food. And then my fifth category that I'm super passionate about is personal development. So that might be me posting about different books that I'm reading that teach me about personal development. It might be posting things like, hey, I'm on a new podcast series. Somebody tell me what's the #1 podcast that I should be listening to right now. Those are the different types of content that I start to post with personal development. Other things I might post is if I find a really good quote that a personal development leader has posted. I might take that quote, turn it into a pretty, what I call a little picture quote. If you've ever seen those, it's like quotes on like this fancy background, and then I'll post that up. Okay. So why I say you want to pick 5 categories is because we all have different passions. Now, what I shared with you are my 5 passions, but I want to know, what are your 5 passions? So this is an exercise that I want you to just sit and think about tonight. Or if you've already got some ideas flowing through your mind, just start jotting them down. And those of you that are on here that already have some ideas, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll get to them later. And we'll talk about different content strategies that you can use based on the categories that you've chosen. Okay, so these are the basic exercises that I want you to just start with first. Once you understand that, next what I'm going to show you is how to set up your profile to make yourself attractive, okay? This is what I call making yourself attractive online, and I made this joke once when I was in a training that when it comes to network marketing and building a network marketing business in the social media world today, you have to learn how to get sexy, okay? And here's why.
All right.
Network marketing, okay? There's a lot of network marketers right now that are online, especially during this pandemic because more people are at home, so more people have time. And they're just doing things in what I call the wrong way. It comes off very spammy. What do I mean by that? They just start blasting, oh my gosh, you got to join my business. You got to check this out. This is what we do, blah, 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 blah. And it's very, very spammy, okay? And so in this sea of what I call spam, because it is out there, you have to make sure that you're so sexy enough that your stuff stands out from the rest, okay? And this is where it comes to creating engaging content. And number one, first and foremost, making sure your profile is attracting the right demographic of people. So for this first example, Miss Mary Robinson, I think you have my Facebook, just my front page pulled up. Can you pull that up real quick?
Yep.
You are awesome. Exit that. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. So if you see on this screen, I want to just quickly show you a few things that you have access to updating, whether you're doing this on your phone or you're doing this on your laptop. The first thing that you'll see is my profile picture, okay? Now notice that my profile picture is a picture of just me. I don't have a picture of my husband. I don't have a picture of my dog. I don't have a picture of my cat. And I don't have kids, but even if I had kids, it wouldn't just be a picture of my kids. Now here's why. When people who may not know you, okay, are trying to find you or search you online, the first thing they're gonna look at is your profile picture. And if they see a picture of a dog, well, I'm sorry, your dog may be the cutest dog in the world, but people are not trying to connect with your dog. They wanna connect with you. And so your picture should always be of you, your profile picture. Now the cover photo, which is the second photo behind the profile picture, you'll see that it's a picture of me on stage and it says documentation beats conversation. Now your cover photo, this is where you can actually start to showcase things that you're passionate about, okay? So things that you might be passionate about, if it's your family, you love and care about your family, you can put in your cover photo a picture of you and your family, okay? The reason I have documentation beats conversation is because there are a lot of people who already kind of know my story or know my journey. And I actually like to state all the time, it's something I state all the time, that when you're in business, documentation beats conversation 100% of the time. And it's a way for me to say that I'm a highly documented person, okay, because I'm a documented leader inside of different magazines and publications and whatnot. So again, it's something that's passionate to me in the sense that people who know me know that I'm a documented leader, okay? Again, whatever you're passionate about, if it's food, it might be a picture of you cooking some food, okay? Whatever those passions are, that's what your cover photo should be of, okay? The next piece to setting up your actual profile is now setting up your intro. So over to the left, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I'm trying to circle it. If not, yep, perfect. Thank you, Miss Mary. The intro, This is, you get a certain amount of characters. I want to say it's about 350 characters. I forget the exact number of characters you get, but you get a small little space where you can write your bio of who you are, what you stand for, what you're passionate about. Now, if you notice in my intro, I put wealth coach, entrepreneur, health nut, okay? You can write this in any way that you want, right? If you're maybe a mother, you might put mom to 3 kids, or mom to 2 kids, or maybe you have pets and you love your pets. You could put fur baby mom to 1 dog, or fur baby mom to 1 cat, whatever the case is, right? You could just write that in there so people get a quick glance can know who you are. Okay, maybe you work in the health field. Okay, maybe as a nurse. I'm just throwing out some ideas there. You would put, maybe you're a mom and you're a nurse. You could put mom of 3, nurse. And then you can put self-employed business owner, right? All of you who are inside of Tranont, guess what? You're a self-employed business owner. So you can put that, business owner, okay? All of the things in your intro should really just be key words so that people who are finding you can quickly just identify who you are, okay? Now, the other things that you'll see that I quickly wrote inside of my bio is that I'm impacting lives through education. Okay, I cannot tell you how many times people have found me, okay, and they've seen my content, and I get messages from people and they say, hey, I noticed that you say that you impact lives through education. What do you do? Okay, what's great about that is I personally did not put health and finance education, mainly because I do a lot of things in education, and they already see that I'm titled a wealth coach, right? And they already see I'm a health nut. So as soon as they say, how are you impacting lives through education? It allows me to open up a window of a conversation with them of, oh yeah, here's what I do in education, okay? So just understand your intro is attractive enough so that people at a quick glance within 7 seconds can figure out who you are, what you do for work or your career, and what you stand for as a human being, okay? Now, below that, you'll see is right above that picture, you'll see it says President at Financial Mastery. So that is my job and my career, okay? So all of you know that on Facebook, you have the ability to set up your career as like a specific, I don't know what you want to call it, but you're able to put your career on your profile, okay? Notice I don't have listed as my job title, Associate at Tranont. Okay, there's a reason for that. One of the things that I'm going to teach you about becoming attractive is you want to pique people's interest, but you want to be able to pique people's interest without giving them a company name. There's a couple of reasons for that, but one of the main reasons is very, very simple. If people see the word Tranont, they can easily go Google Tranont, look at the website, and they might be able to just make a quick assessment of, oh, this person's in network marketing, this person's they sell health and wealth products. I don't need to be a part of that, okay? And you have no idea how many times I will tell you that by just piquing people's interest and keeping them curious enough without them knowing what company I'm a part of, there are people that have chosen to do business with us that wouldn't have necessarily probably have joined us had they already known what the company was. And again, the reason I share that is because some of these individuals have flat out told me that they would have never thought about joining network marketing just because they heard that the industry of network marketing, they heard whatever negative things that they had heard from a friend of theirs or somebody else who maybe just didn't have success in the industry. And so they never thought they would ever end up joining a network marketing company. Okay, so just understand all you're doing is by keeping people curious and by not giving away too much of that information right off of the bat, that curiosity keeps people's interest piqued enough until you can get them the information in the format and the ways that we teach you to do it with everything we teach you and how to build your business, okay? Social media and how you talk to people online and offline, it's really no different. It's just the difference is you're now using a phone that's in front of you versus calling people and actually physically talking to them. All right, now below that, you'll see there's one picture. This one picture, it's called a featured photo section. You are allowed to put up to 5 featured photos in this featured photo section. Now, if you have different categories of things that you're passionate about, guess what? Your 5 photos could be 5 photos, one of each picture of the different things that you're passionate about. I personally just have one photo there. And the reason I personally only have one photo there is because I run and manage a Facebook group that is all around financial education. And I use that little featured photo as a way to magnetize people into my Facebook group. Okay. Now, if you don't have a Facebook group, you don't run and operate one, then I suggest just choose 5 photos that all hit on those 5 categories that we just talked about, and have one photo for each, and that will be your featured photo section. Okay, thank you, Miss Mary Robinson, for showing that. Now, that is how you first set up your entire profile, ladies and gentlemen, on getting your Facebook just up to date and actually showcasing who you are as a person, okay? The next thing I'm gonna share with you is we're gonna start diving into all of the content, and I've got some examples that I'm going to show you of content that you can be posting. But again, the content I'm gonna show you is just examples. I want you, again, when it comes to content creation, I want you to be focusing on posting content that is around who you are as a person, not just literally copying and pasting, because copying and pasting doesn't necessarily work if it's not something you're passionate about, okay? So what I wanna share with you when it comes to content production and creating content and posting content, think of storytelling. How many times have all of you guys ever heard that facts tell, stories sell, right? Facts tell, stories sell. So why we always share with you when you're getting started in Tranont, it's so important for you to have a testimony or a story, is because guess what? That story, I'm telling you, it's going to stick with you forever inside of your business. It's my story is my story, and it's only my story. Nobody can share my story because it's me, right? And that's what makes me so unique in the digital space, is because it's my unique story. So again, just keep in mind, you're going to be developing your story over time. And guess what? That story is what you're going to want to start to share in the online space. And that's what will pique people's curiosity. So I'm going to start to share my screen, and I'm going to pull up this slide deck so we can start here. And Mary, can you see this okay on your end?
I sure can. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Now, I've got, and I shared this with Mrs. Robinson before we got on, I have tons of content that I have been posting for years and years and years. I mean, we could be here, I kid you not, for 5 hours. I could go into a 5-hour conversation on storytelling online, but we don't have 5 hours today, okay? So I took some of my biggest, like well-crafted stuff that I have seen that has gotten really good engagement. And then I also just quickly pulled some other stories from some of our other associates who use social media in a very strategic and very good way. I pulled some examples as well from their timelines to kind of show you a roadmap of what they do. And again, it's all around storytelling. So first and foremost, before we dive into this whole picture that's on the right side, the words and phrases that you want to completely avoid when you are posting content is, number one, we already talked about it, the company name Tranont. Okay, again, people are interested in doing business with people they know, like, and trust, and they're not as interested so much in the company as they are working with you, the leader, okay? So you're gonna avoid phrases like the company name Tranont. I also like to avoid phrases that say, hey, who wants to come work with me in my company? Or I'll avoid phrases that say, hey, come join my company, or hey, come check out this company. I always like to avoid those types of phrases because, again, I want to pique people's interest, keep them curious, and then on the back end, I'm going to have a conversation with them if they're open and they're curious in Messenger, okay? Here's what I want you to jot down real quick. Sales do not happen on your Facebook timeline, okay? Sales happen in Messenger, okay? The money, so write this down. The money is in Messenger. The money is in Messenger, okay? Now, if you are brand new to Facebook and you've never used Facebook Messenger or you've never used Facebook at all, then first and foremost, if you're just trying to get the basic handling of how to utilize Facebook, my total recommendation to you would be
Uh-huh.
get on youtube.com and you can actually look up like, hey, show me how to use Facebook, okay? Because I know if you're brand new to Facebook, if you've never used it, you might not be sure how to set up your profile, how to do all that stuff. We showed you the basic stuff, but again, if you need more basics, go to youtube.com and you can look up basic Facebook tutorials that will show you how to set up your settings, how to get your messenger set up, all those types of fun things. Now, the other phrases that I want you to avoid as well is joining my team. Hey, who wants to come work with me and my team? It's not attractive, guys. It will repel people from you like no other. Okay, and then the third or fourth phrase that you want to avoid is become my customer. So you'll see how I strategically pique people's interest about products here in a second and how I get them to actually say if they're interested, and then I actually private message them the information about becoming my customer and going through all those details. Okay, so let me first show you, here's an example on the right-hand side of a very long, it was a long post that I wrote, and I'm gonna read this to you because I want you to hear the whole mechanics of the post. And I know this is a long one, but it's a good one because this post, I posted about, oh gosh, it was like 2 years ago now. And guess what? It was one of the most engaging posts that I ever wrote. And I got more customers from this post, minus the new story that I'm going to show you here in a second, where I got even more customers from that. And that was recent. So here's what the post said. Warning, long post and extremely educational. Guys, there was a psychology behind that. As you can see, this was a long post that was written. And I purposely put long post and extremely educational because if people read that and they want to learn some education, guess what? They're going to take the time to stop and read it. Okay, so I put that warning there first. And I know some people will scroll right through it, but the ones that really want the education, the ones that, again, we're trying to find our target demographic, the ones that really want the education will stop and read it. So I wrote, as most of you know, I've been working on my finances for the past year. I've learned more in the last 17 months than I have ever in my life. Let me share with you what has happened within the past month from the education I've taken on. Now, notice this post is not one long post that's written out in one big message. Notice I have spacing, okay, in between how I posted this content. When you start to post long content like this, guys, you have to make sure that you are spacing out your content in a way that it's in an easy format to read. Because if it's not in an easy format to read, guess what? People will not stop scrolling. They'll just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So what you have to do in today's digital age, with so many people on Facebook, you have to get people to stop scrolling, okay? And this is how you do it. So I used an emoji. I've been working with a credit services team, and when I started, I had a 689 credit score. The credit services team got my score all the way up to the 800s, and something major just happened. Okay, next line, another emoji to break up the text. I had a vehicle note at 6.5% interest that I just refinanced and was approved at 2.49. But even better than that, I knocked off 2 years on the life of the loan, right? Notice I'm going into the bullet points of what happened in my story. Wait, there's more. I also have a student loan that was at a variable loan rate of 7.5%. Student loans are a little trickier to refinance, being that they are not secured by collateral. So using my credit lines, I had a 0% interest offer on my credit card. I moved over about half of my student loan, $11,300, to a 0% card, and will have it paid off this year. I paid a 3% transfer fee to move the amount, but let me break down what the total interest that is saved from making these two moves, okay? And then again, here's the follow-up on that. I wrote, on the vehicle note, the calculated interest savings was around $7,000. On the student loan, the calculated interest savings is around $10,212. Now, yes, did I do some math, guys? This was a whole thing. Like, this was a process when I went through this whole process, and I'm literally step by step writing out the process of what I did, okay? That's a total of around $17,212 of interest saved. What's even better is every month I receive $500 a month towards my car note. What I'm talking about here is our Jeep program inside of Tranont, right? The $500 stipend that Tranont gives us. Now notice I didn't say I get a Jeep stipend, Notice I didn't say I get a stipend from Tranont. I just said I receive $500 a month towards my car note. Okay. Then I wrote, can you imagine? This is the peaking part. So if you guys are getting this, storytelling, here's where the peaking comes in. Can you imagine? What would you do with an extra $17,000 back in your pocket? This is where I'm piquing their interest. I'm now asking them to engage on my post and tell me what they would do if they save $17,000 of interest. And then I wrote, I have the strategies to teach people how to do this, and I have been able to help hundreds of people with the power of this education. I'm on a mission to help more people get educated and put money back in your pockets. And then I wrote, ask me how, who's next? Now, why this got so much engagement so quickly is because number one, I didn't mention anything about company. Number two, there was value that was given inside the post, right? It was valuable content that if people consume that, they're like, holy crap, this is actually possible. I could probably do this. But the other thing they're thinking is, I don't even know where to start. How did this girl do this? So naturally, I got comments that said, hey, yeah, teach me. How did you do this strategy? So everybody that started commenting saying, hey, show me your strategy, or hey, how do I get more information? Hey, tell me more. Guess what I did? I actually started private messaging every single person that engaged on that thread. And that's where I started the conversation, was in private messenger. And in private messenger, I just formed people up. I asked them simple questions. And I asked them questions like, why do you want to do this with your finances? What would it help you provide for your family? And naturally from it, guys, I got credit service customer after credit service customer after credit service customer. Okay. That is one way to share a testimony online. That's a long version of it. Can you do this in another format? Yes, you can. Another way you can do this, guys, is maybe you don't want to, maybe you're not really good at typing things out. Okay, maybe typing up content, that's not something you're good at, but maybe you can verbalize it. Okay, so guess what you could do? You can record a video of yourself. You can go on Facebook Live. Okay, I know Facebook Live is very scary for people because it's live and they're just nervous about talking on live. I get it. Look, I was nervous with Facebook Live the first time I went live. I'll actually tell you this really funny story. When I went on Facebook Live for the first time, I was so scared that I sat in front of my phone like this with my hand shaking for 45 minutes. It took me 45 minutes to hit the button to go live. Okay, so just know if you feel that way, it's totally normal. And over time, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. So if you are scared to do a Facebook Live, here's what I recommend you do first. Record yourself offline, because guess what? If you mess up, you can delete it and start over. And guess what? You can still upload that content to Facebook. And the more and more you start to get comfortable, then you can move into Facebook Live, okay? That's an easy way for you to get started without making yourself scared, okay? All right, so next thing I want to talk about is Facebook stories. We just talked about real quick, just sharing your testimony online, and that was like just posting up a post. But here's what I want to share with you. Ninja tip. If you want a ninja tip on where you're going to get the most engagement right now, the most engagement is coming from Facebook stories, okay? So you've got your posts that you can post on your Facebook wall, and then you have Facebook stories. Okay, Facebook stories are what they call it micro content. Okay, and here's what micro content is. Facebook stories are only on Facebook for 24 hours, and then guess what? It goes away, like poof, it disappears. Okay, so the reason you might like Facebook stories, and the reason I actually know that some people are more comfortable using stories versus on their wall, is because they disappear after 24 hours. So guess what? If you don't like the content, it's only up for 24 hours and then it disappears. Boom, boom. And I'll just tell you guys another little quick tip, just because I have a lot of people in the digital marketing world. Facebook stories, the reason they get more engagement right now is because there's a thing on Facebook called an algorithm. Don't worry if you don't know how an algorithm works. I'm just gonna tell you, Facebook has designed to push more eyeballs towards story content, which means more people can visibly see story content than they will actual posts. And that's because Facebook wants people looking at stories, because guess what? The Facebook platform is going to change. Give it about a year, maybe 2 years. And the way you see Facebook right now it will be totally different. They plan to be moving more content to streamline to Facebook stories in the future. So just know it's coming down the pipe. Don't worry. Change is inevitable with technology. But if you start learning Facebook stories now and become a pro now, then a year or two down the road when they make the change, it's all good because you already know Facebook stories. Now that we talk about Facebook stories, here's how you want to use storytelling in a Facebook story. I personally started posting about collagen. I wanted to intrigue. I wanted to pique people's interest about collagen, okay? So if you all notice, I have really long hair now. I didn't have long hair about a year ago. It was actually about up to here. And I purposely have grown it out for a reason because I really wanted to pique people's interest on collagen. So I posted up a Facebook story, and this was the first story. It said, hey, do you want to know my secret to long and healthy hair? Now look, you're gonna naturally have people that tell you no. And the people that said no to me, because you can actually see when you do polls like this on Facebook stories, you can see who says no. And I was so laughing at this so hard because the people who said no were all bald men. Of course, they don't want to learn how to grow their hair. They're bald men. Okay. All right. So the second story that I posted right after I posted this was I posted some pictures because I've been tracking my progress of my hair growth since I started on collagen back in 2019. Okay, so you'll see I wrote results from baby hair that never grew out since I was a kid. And I've got the 3 posts of, you know, the picture in October when my baby hair, you guys can see all that baby hair there. By November, just in about 1 month time frame, most of this baby hair grew out to the point where I could pull it back in my ponytail, and you'll see that what was left was that little, just that little chunk that's there. Then by December, guess what? That little chunk started growing out into longer hair. So you guys can physically see my results of what was happening over those first couple of months. Now, the next one I posted, this was the most recent photo. And I think I posted this in March. So this was sometime in March. I posted the most recent photo of the tiny little chunk, which is literally from this picture in November, it's this hair right here. This hair right here is all that's left that has left to grow out. Okay, crazy that my hair has been grown out, right? So here's what I did. I asked people, do they want to know the secret? Then I started posting my results. The very next day, I posted 2 videos, okay? I actually did story videos, and I didn't get a chance to download them before they disappeared. They just disappeared. But here were the 2 videos that I put in between. So I put the results, then I put 2 videos. The first video was, okay, for those of you that wanted to know my secret to long, healthy hair, here's what it is. It's collagen. It's gut health. And guess what? I used a process called collagen loading. In the next video, I'm going to tell you what that process is. In the second video, I spent 15 seconds telling them, here's the process of collagen loading. It's taking a collagen supplement twice a day and doubling down the dose for 30 days. And then after 30 days, going down to a normal dose of collagen. And then at the end of that video, I said, however, I'm not just talking about any collagen supplement here. I'm talking about medical grade collagen. Okay. And that's how I ended that video. The next story I posted up was, so what's the difference between a collagen pill, powder collagen, mix, and drinkable liquid collagen? Okay. Because now it literally went in sequential order from my videos. If you guys are getting this, I did it in a story format. And there are a lot of people I know that take collagen. So I wanted to actually explain the difference. The next story right after that, as I said, liquid collagen is more readily absorbed into the body than either powders or pills. A daily dose of liquid collagen provides the body up to 10,000 milligrams of hydrolyzed collagen, up to 40 times more collagen than typical collagen supplements. Now, let me just tell you guys, this post right here is what got people responding to me. Okay, because in stories, when people watch your Facebook story, I don't know if you know this, they can react to your story and they can also reply to your story. And when they reply, it sends a message in Facebook Messenger. And I track this stuff because I look at what content is performing and what isn't. It's just what I've learned to do, look at what's performing and what's not. This blue post is where people started finally responding to me. And they said, okay, I gotta know, what collagen are you taking that's 40 times more absorbable? Okay, that's what got them. That was the hook. Are you guys hopefully you're getting this. I'm giving education, but that was the hook. That's what sold them. They're like, okay, I got to know what's 40 times more absorbable. And if you're wondering, where did I find this question and this? Guess what, guys? I took this right from Tranont's flyer for collagen. So there's obviously product flyers that we have, right? And our Icaria Glow collagen flyer, it actually has this exact, word for word. I didn't even change the wording. This is what it says on our flyer. Okay, I just took the content and made it into micro content in my Facebook story, if that makes sense. Okay, last but not least, this was the last post that I posted, which was just a picture of me holding the bottle of the collagen, right? And I put type 1 hydrolyzed liquid collagen with 14 high oric superfood antioxidant fruits. Okay, but I want you to know where people replied the most was this, because again, people's minds were blown. They got a little bit of education and now they wanted to know more. Okay, and I ended up getting 4 customers in 2 days just from this story. Okay, now I want you to know something. If you're brand new to posting content, just know long-term, the game of social media is long-term consistency. Okay, the reason I get people to buy products right away, guys, is because I've been doing this for 4 years. Understand, if you're brand new, you're just going to have to get used to, you're going to be posting content for some time that in the beginning may not even get a lot of engagement. Because when I first started posting, guess what? My first sets of content didn't get a lot of engagement. But over time, the consistency of doing this daily over time, little bit of consistency over time is now getting more eyeballs on my stuff. Okay. All right, moving on. Let me show you 2 more examples. This one is another gal on our team, Heidi. She actually did really well last month. She got a whole bunch of new customers, all because she's really good at social media. So on the left-hand side, if you notice, she posted a picture of her holding our Vibe supplement. Notice she doesn't have the bottle in her hand, she just has the capsule. And she posted, did you know about lion's mane mushroom and how it can help reduce anxiety, reduce inflammation, reduce oxidative stress, and boost our immune system? How cool is that? I lived off this supplement postpartum because I was beyond exhausted, and the B vitamins in it helped give me a boost of healthy energy. Now I'm living on it again to help my body cope with the crazy. Take care of you, boo. Okay, so this was just an educational content. Yes.
We can't see your screen.
Oh, did it stop sharing?
It did.
Okay, hold on.
Now,
Hold on.
you see him? Is it me?
I can see it just fine.
You can?
Me too.
Yeah.
I see it.
I
I'm
can see
sorry.
it.
It's me.
Can you see it now?
Now I can see it. Yeah, now I can see it. It was sorry. It's me. User error.
Okay. All right. As long as
Sorry.
you guys can see it, this is good. Okay. So Heidi, if you notice, she just did an educational content about lion's mane mushroom, which is one ingredient in one of our capsules. Okay. So that's an example of an educational post. Now, here's an example of a curiosity post. And this is where you can get really good engagement. Okay. How you get people to re-engage with you is by asking them a polling question, something that's going to attract them and make them respond in the comments. Okay. This one was done by Miss Erica Vospect, who's an Emerald inside of Tranont. She wrote, hey friends, I really want to know, oh my gosh, this is cutting off. I really want to know your thoughts on, what your thoughts are on this relating to your life. A, B, or C, which do you choose? And as you can see, it says, if you could eliminate one thing, what would it be? A, pain or sickness, B, debt, C, anxiety, depression. Now check this out, guys. Look how many comments she got. 52 comments. 52 comments. Okay. Now, let me just tell you something. Opinion posts like this, they get a lot of engagement because guess what people are tuned into every single day? They're tuned into WIIFM. What's in it for me? People love talking about themselves. So the more that you can get people to share about themselves, the more you're going to get engagement on your posts. Okay. And so these curiosity posts are just a great way to start a conversation. Now, Erica didn't just stop there. Here's what Erica did after that. Okay. She had people responding A, B, C. And guess what she did? She would comment back to them on the thread saying, hey, thanks for participating, and she would just engage with them on that comment thread. Now, if she knew it was somebody that's not in her business or somebody that she could start engaging a conversation with, guess what she then did? If they commented something like pain or sickness, she would Facebook message them a private message and say, hey, Eric, thanks so much for sharing that, if you could eliminate one thing, it would be pain and sickness. Hey, by the way, I didn't know that you were dealing with pain. If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you're dealing with? Notice what she did. She got him to respond on Facebook, but she started the conversation in Messenger, because now that she starts to form him up in Messenger, what can she start doing after they start having a conversation? She can refer him to the products and services that are beneficial for him. Hope you guys are getting that, okay? These are just more examples. All right, one more example, and I think this is the last one that I have, and then we're gonna switch gears. Okay, Miss Erica posted this is an educational content one. She is also a nurse, so this girl's got good advice on just health in general. And you'll notice she just wrote, here's some of the top advice I've gathered from a few of the healthiest, happy people that I know. Okay, and notice she broke her content up, kind of like I break my content up. She broke her content up so it's in easy, digestible format. She wrote, feed your mind positivity, build your immune system, eat fresh and living foods, calm your mind, improve your sleep. So what is she doing? She's giving people tips on how they can live a long and healthy life. And then at the bottom of her post, she posted a picture of the back of our balance bottle. Okay, and notice she wrote, if you hate being sick, get this kind of vitamin C. And she wrote hashtag better than emergency, hashtag healthy immune system. Now the photo is cut off, but she had wording that said, it had the little restrictive, if you guys ever seen that restrictive sign, it's like a red circle with a line through it. She put that and she wrote no synthetics, and then in a green check mark, she wrote plant-based supplementation, okay? So again, all she was doing there, she was just generating people's interest by piquing their interest by posting a picture of the back of the bottle, okay? I hope you guys are starting to get just a baseline understanding of different types of ways you can post. Okay, the key here is consistency. The more you do this over time, the easier and easier that it starts to get. Oh, I do have one more. Okay, here's the last one that Miss Heidi posted, and this one is about business building. Okay, so in this one that I love about it is she didn't say anything about a company. She talked about the industry of network marketing, but she did it in a way where she was storytelling. Okay, and all she shared here was what's been happening to her in her workforce and how she's so grateful for the industry of network marketing because of multiple streams. So let me just read this real quick. She wrote, I was literally just sharing a week ago how grateful I was to have the multiple streams of income I have created because of the time freedom it has given me to be more present with my boy, her baby boy, she's got a baby boy, and spend less time away from the house working. Now, after watching endless posts of people not having a job for an indefinite amount of time because of what is happening in our world, I feel even more grateful, right? So it's a gratitude post. She's saying she's grateful. And then she said, friends, network marketing is a choice. Building additional income streams is a choice. You are in control of whether you decide to build your own online business or not. But friends, it is so dang worth it. Even just the financial stress I'm watching, it alleviate from so many of the people on the teams, on my teams right now, makes it beyond worth it. Find something you're passionate about and go share it with the world, just like you always do. But this time, let's teach you how to get paid to share what you love from your phone. Okay, and then she posted that picture that says multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. Okay, hope you guys are just starting to get, this is what you call engaging content. That is engaging content, okay? Now, this was a lot more business style content. Just make sure, and the reason I'm showing you the business style content is because lifestyle stuff is easy to post when you're speaking from the heart about your life, right? Lifestyle stuff is simple. Take pictures with your family, take a picture if you're on a walk with your dog, post it up and just say, I'm grateful that I can outside. Okay? I never have to take anything. All right. I'm going to stop this share and let's switch gears real quick. All right. How many of you guys are excited to learn about this trip? How many of you guys are excited to go on a trip? Right? There's
yeah. Sure.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I just want you all to know I'm going to teach you, and I got to plug my computer in so it doesn't die on me. but I'm going to teach you guys just the quickest ways you can start quickly building points for this trip. And here's what I'll share with you. My husband and I have been in Tranont now for 4 years. I have already lost track of how many trips we've gone on paid by the company at this point. I am so grateful for what the owners have done. I think we're at 8 paid vacations, but I'm not 100% sure at this point. But I'll just tell you, the owners are incredible. And the places they take us, oh my word. Like I would not even, the last place that we went on a trip, I wouldn't have not even, if I had to plan the trip myself, I would have never even paid to go to that place because it was like $800 a night or something crazy like that to just stay at the last resort that we stayed at. It was so fancy. We even had a butler. Okay, like the butler would come draw a bath for you. I didn't even know how to handle it. I'm like, I don't even know what world is like with a butler. And then the week was up and I was ready to go home. We came back home. I was like, where's my butler to draw my bath? Okay. So these trips are amazing. And here's what's even more impactful about these trips with Tranont. Do you know that we are one of the only network marketing companies that allows a brand new distributor? Okay. A brand new distributor, not even somebody who's at the highest ranks in our company. A brand new distributor can qualify for these trips by actually doing the daily activities that you need to do anyway to grow your business. And so what's so beautiful about this is by just doing the daily actions you need to grow your business anyway, you could also get paid to go to the Dominican Republic.
Nice.
So let me pull up the screen share of the actual document for the fall incentive trip. And then if you guys have not yet seen this document, I'm going to actually, yeah, there we go. I want you to see the whole thing. If you have not yet downloaded this, then by the end of today's meeting, go into your back office, go to sales tools and training, and this document's there. And I want you to download this and print it off because on the second page, this is your tracking sheet. Okay, and this is what I want you to have on your desk or in front of your eyeballs every single day because you want to track your progress. Anybody that has success in business, guys, they track their progress. And so this is no different. You want to be able to track your progress. So if you notice, and I'm not going to go into all the details of this is how many points you need, because if you haven't learned that yet, there is an incredible training that Mr. Craig Cotter already did to kind of talk through how many points you need to get the hotel, how many points you need for flight and hotel. What I am going to talk to you about today is the points that you should be focusing on, like the actions that you should be focusing on to generate the highest type of points so that you can actually qualify as fast as humanly possible. So there are a couple things real quick, simple things that you can do right now if you haven't already done it so that you can qualify for this incentive trip. The first one, and I'm going to find it on the sheet so I can pull it open. The first one is actually right at the top. Complete your first blue number meeting, okay? The blue number, if you guys haven't heard about it, this is all on our financial education side of our business. This is the analysis appointment where you get to sit down with one of our licensed wealth specialists. And guess what? Just for doing that, you get 500 points just by completing your blue number appointment. Guys, that's the easiest way you can quickly just go get 500 points right away. So if you have not yet done your blue number meeting, first and foremost, go get that scheduled today. And where you get that scheduled is at getmyblue.com. Getmyblue.com, okay? Sign up and they'll corporate will reach out and you can actually get that all scheduled. Now, the second piece that you can do right away to get a quick 250 points is right here, personally register for the next upcoming convention, okay? Our upcoming convention, we know because of the pandemic, we don't have an actual date yet of when it's going to be just because we're kind of waiting to see when this quarantine is going to be up. It was scheduled for April. It is what I call to be determined. But again, guys, real quick, you get 250 points just for going and getting registered for the next convention.
Average.
So do that right away. Okay, next one I want to show you right here. If you notice, there's an auto ship that all of us set up when we get started in our business. Now, if your auto ship is set up for billing the 8th through the 15th, you get 65 points every single month that your auto ship actually posts. But here's the quickest way that you can actually get 125 points every single month, which, by the way, if you calculate that over the next 4 months, that's 500 additional points. If you want to get a simple 500 points from March through June, then go into your back office today or call customer support, one of the two, it's totally up to you, and change your auto ship from the 1st through the 7th. Just by doing that, you, instead of getting 65 points a month, you get 125 points a month. These are the simplest actions that you can take right now that will allow you to generate, let's calculate this up real quick, 500 for your blue number, 125 a month by changing your auto ship, which comes out to a total of 500 points, right? March, April, May, June, that comes to 500 points total. There's 1,000 points right there just from those two activities. And then an additional 250 points. So there's 1,250 points just by doing those 3 activities. Okay, and those are simple ones you can do without even growing the business thus yet. Now, the next pieces that I want to show you, here are some of the easiest ways to start generating large amounts of points. We are a very big company focused on customer acquisition. Why? Customer acquisition and customers are the lifeblood of our business. Without customers, guess what? We wouldn't have a business. So if you notice, those individuals who focus on accumulating as many customers as they can, guess what? If you get, okay, let's just start at the base. If you get 200 customer points for the month, which, by the way, how can you quickly get to 200 customer points? That is literally 3 bottles of collagen. Okay, if you refer 3 collagen customers, that's already at 200 customer points. Here's another example. Refer 3 customers to our CBD product, whether it's Serene or it's our fluid. Guess what? Those 3 customers get you to 200 customer points. Okay, and you get 100 points every single month that you cross that 200 threshold. Okay, this customer points section. So let's just use an example. Let's say Amadeus, I see you on the screen, so I'm going to use you as an example. Let's say Amadeus, in the month of March, you acquired 200 customer points. So in the month of March, you're going to get 100 points. Now, let's say in April, Amadeus, that you go out and you get more customers. Let's say you get 1,500 customer points in April. Well, guess what? Now you get 500 points. You see how this is working? Because you did that in the month of April. So they track this every single month. And then at the end of each month, whatever your production is, that's the amount of total points you're going to get towards your incentive trip going to the Dominican Republic. Okay. Now, the last section I'm going to show you, and there's a lot of ways to earn points. So you guys can read through all of this later. I'm just showing you the high points, like the ones that get you the highest amount of points that you could do right away. So the next one I want to show you is business building. This is where you're going to earn a lot of points if you do this correctly. So if you notice, if you personally sponsor a new associate within the business, you get 100 points just for sponsoring them. Okay. Now, if you help your newest associate get 100 points of volume, whether that means they're purchasing products for themselves or services, or they're getting customers, either or, you get 250 more points towards your trip incentive. So that's 350 points for helping a new associate sign up and get their first 100 PV worth of product. Okay. Or again, refer customers to it. That's 350 points just for that. Now, if you also register them for the upcoming convention during sign up, okay, so when they sign up, so let's say you get them started, you help them get their 100 PV right away, and you also have them register during sign up for a convention. Look at this right here. Personally, nope, sorry. This one, where is it? Yes, right here. Personally register for the next convention during new associate sign up process. Guess what? That new associate you just enrolled, they get 750 points towards their incentive trip just for enrolling for a convention during the sign up process. So let me just give you a little example. Right now, when I am enrolling brand new distributors, the conversation I'm having with them when they get started is I say, look, you're committed to growing your business. Yes. And then of course they tell me, yes, I'm committed. I said, okay, great. Then first and foremost, we're going to actually get you registered for a convention right now while you're signing up. And here's what it's going to do for you. And I tell them, I say, look, we have this incredible promotion right now that you can actually win an all expenses paid trip to the Dominican Republic. And there are certain incentive points you get for doing certain things in your business in order to qualify for this trip. One of those incentives is if you enroll for convention right now, you're going to get a handful of points towards your next trip. And I just explained the promotion to them. And let me tell you, guess what? They get registered for convention because they want to run for that incentive. Now, here's what I see that most people forget to do sometimes is they forget to have this conversation. And guess what? Sometimes their associate finds out after the fact. And who do you think they get mad at if you didn't tell them about this incredible bonus? They get mad at you because you didn't tell them during sign up. Because guess what? If they don't do this during sign up, they don't get those 750 points. They'll get 250 points, but if they do it at sign up, they get 750 points. Okay, so again, make sure they're doing it at sign up. Now, not only do they get 750 points, but because you also helped them get registered for convention upon sign up, you get your 100 points for sponsoring them, your 250 more points for getting their 100 PV, so that's 350 right there, plus an additional 200 points because they got registered. So if you notice, what we did here is you literally got, what is that, 550 points just by signing them up, getting their 100 PV, and getting them registered. All right, those are the ways that you're gonna start earning massive points real fast, okay? Now, the last one that you're gonna see here, again, our business is built on helping others build their business. The more people you help succeed, the more you're gonna grow in your business. So if you actually take that new associate and you help them also rank advance within their first month or any time between March and June while this promotion is being run, you'll get an additional 500 points just for helping them rank advance because you personally sponsored them. And the last one that you see there is if you help them rank advance again. So let's just use this as an example. Amadeus, you're my example, okay? Amadeus, let's say Amadeus was personally sponsored by me. Let's say in the month of April, I helped him rank up to the position of Jade. He's gonna get his promotional points for ranking up, but I also get 500 points just by helping him rank advance. He gets 1,500 points because he personally did it. I get 500 for helping him do it. Okay, now let's say in the month of May, we helped Amadeus not just go from Jade, but he also rank advanced to Pearl. Now he gets another 1,500 points, and then I get another 500 points for helping him rank advance. I hope you guys are getting the idea. These points can accumulate really fast. There's lots of ways to earn. And of course, there's extra goodies if you start accumulating even more points than beyond just the trip qualifying points. You'll notice on this front sheet, you can win like 2 pairs of sunglasses, water bottles, 2 travel kits. You can even earn a Tranont branded carry-on. That's pretty cool. So there's just all these extra incentives. It's really fun. And guys, the best way for you to be able to track all of this is, again, just print this trackable sheet. All the ways that you can earn are listed here. And then every single month, as you're actually accumulating these points, just jot them down. Jot them down, and then you can start tallying them at the bottom of the screen. Now, that
Veronica, can you explain how exactly you're sponsoring an associate? Like,
Yes.
is it getting them signed up, or how exactly is that?
So good question, Amadeus. Let's say you were going to enroll me in the business, okay? I go to Tranont.com, I get ready to sign up, and right when I sign up, it asks for a personally sponsored ID. I would be putting in your ID for you sponsoring me. Does that make sense?
Right, and then that would put that person in your downline, right, in your team.
Correct. Right. It puts them in your downline, yes. But they would have to, in order for you to get all those points we were just talking about, you have to personally sponsor them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. You got it. All right, guys, I know there's going to be questions, and there's probably a lot of questions on this Dominican Republic trip. So we're going to open it up, and Miss Mary, if you want to share anything real quick, otherwise we can open for questions so we can answer.
Yes, I have a question around the daily method of operations document. Can you speak to that? Because I also see points here. Are they physical points that go towards, or is this just something to help you calculate the activities that you do?
Good question. And actually, this is so fun because Mr. John Singh and myself get to train on this in like 2 weeks. But the points that are on here, this is a daily method of operation sheet that's been updated for the Dominican Republic. So the points that you see on this activity sheet are not points that calculate towards the Dominican Republic trip. They are simply points that they want you, if you notice, if you track your points on here, they tell you how fast you're moving within your business. And so they use it in a way of saying, are you walking in your business? Are you running? Are you biking? Are you rowing? Are you flying? And that's because basically for every type of daily activity you're doing, which again helps lead you to the actions that are required to grow your business. Once you start calculating up those weekly points on your activity sheet, that just tells you how close are you to actually obtaining the goals that you're looking at. So the goal is, of course, get as many points as you possibly can. The more points you accumulate, obviously the more customers you're going to get and the faster your business is.
Thank you for that clarity.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Anybody else have questions around the trip, around social media? You got my undivided attention. Yes, Amadeus, I think I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if anybody else had questions first. But you said in the beginning, when using Facebook, you want to do 80% lifestyle, 20% business. For me, I get on Facebook, I share content that interests me. I don't post very many things very often. So what's a good way to blend that 80% lifestyle in the content that you post?
Got it. Okay, let me ask you this question. Did you, and I know if you haven't done it yet, that's okay, but did you already start writing down any of those 5 categories that are like categories that are passionate to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing one of your categories?
Sure. I can share a few. I'm a gamer and okay. I like food as well. I'm also a computer nerd.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go off of the computer nerd one for a second, because guess what? There's some really good information that you have in your brain that could be valuable to consumers or people that are obviously connected to you. So you probably know a lot of little tips and tricks on maybe things that you can do on your smartphone, like certain privacy settings, certain notification settings, or there might even be things that you know that you can do on your computer, like little things that I just tell you right now, other people don't know how to do. You could actually start posting content. I kid you not. You could start posting content that say, hey, did you know how to do, let me give an example. Did you know how you can do a screen record on your iPhone? Or I know Android allows you to do it. They call it something else. But do you know what I'm talking about, Amadeus?
Yeah.
Like you can do a screen record. Let me just tell you, most people don't know how to do that. And you could literally record a simple, I don't know, 30-second, 1-minute video clip that shows somebody how to do a screen record. And you could post that up as a post and say, hey, if you didn't know that you could do this, let me just show you. Boom, 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 boom. Now what you did is you just posted valuable content that, again, people who want to learn how to do that, they're going to consume it. And the more that they start seeing you post this type of valuable content, I promise they're going to start watching what you're doing online. So that's just one example. Another example I'll give you is if you're a foodie and you love food, here's a simple one. Take a picture of the next meal that you eat, post it up and just say, I'm such a foodie. This is what I made for dinner today. Okay. And again, it's just going to be engaging content that is personalized for you and who you are and what you're passionate about.
I don't know if you want to see what I eat every day. Now it's just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and pizza rolls until this madness is over. But other than that, it's eating out mostly.
Guess what? There's a great joke that you can even put, post the picture of the pizza rolls and the peanut butter and jelly and just say, gosh, this quarantine life is killing me because I want my fun foodie habits and I can't have them. Whatever it is, make it fun, right? The whole purpose is all you're doing is creating connection. Okay. And all it is just getting as creative as you can. And I'll tell you, it took me a minute to get this down, but once you start doing it over and over again, it gets simple. Like last night I ended up painting this wall that's behind me, and I wasn't going to do a story. I'm like, oh, I got to talk about this. This is a story. Who naturally paints their wall? Like, that's not something you normally do. So I just put up a little story. I looked like poop. I didn't even have makeup on, nothing. And it's okay because it was authentic, right? I did a little video that said, all right, guys, I'm about to paint this wall. I'll show you the finished project when it's done, right? Simple stuff like that. Does that help?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. And then mix in some of your business stuff over time too. So do some of that lifestyle stuff and then start mixing in your business.
Hey, Veronica. Veronica?
Yes.
What part of the DR are they going to?
What part of what? I missed that last part.
What part of the Dominican Republic is the trip headed to?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. All I know is Dominican Republic. They haven't released the details yet.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I know, we'll let you know.
All right, cool.
I have a question, Veronica.
Yes, Mr. Payne.
Yes. So under no circumstances are we allowed to do, I think I was told that we can't go Facebook Live. I know for a presentation, of course, but give me an example of how I can use Facebook Live to market a product.
Love this. Okay, here's how I personally use Facebook Live and what's really worked for me is if I'm gonna do like a product demonstration, I tend to back it up with some sort of story behind it, whether it's a story of something and how it's helped me, or if it's a story of how it might have helped somebody that I'm working with. And I'm just gonna use the life example because this is a really good one because you could do a pudding demo, right? So an easy one you can do with life, it's a great impact product. Get a cup of pudding, get your blank cup, get your enzyme pill, and just get on there. You could do it in 5 minutes and say, hey, I want to show you a little magic trick. I don't know if you've ever heard of digestive enzymes, but let me just show you how well these work. And then just giving them some basic education around what enzymes are, obviously how they work, and just do the pudding demo. Okay, and then I always make the joke, if I do a pudding demo and I show it, I say, by the way, the proof is in the pudding. You could see I liquefied this pudding within like a minute or so. And I just want to show this, and this is what I do on Facebook Live. I just want to show you that this symbolizes food digesting down the way that it should in your gut. And then the way that I typically end that Facebook Live is I say, look, if you eat any sort of cooked food, any sort of processed food, then you should be supplementing with a digestive enzyme. And guess what? Once you do that quick little live, Derek, you're going to have so many people who are probably just going to, some may just watch it and not say anything. Others may be like, wow, what the heck is that? Okay. And again, you may do one Facebook Live on that pudding demo, give it another 30 or 45 days. And guess what? You can do another one because remember, after so long, content just kind of goes down to the point where people don't see it anymore. And I've probably done in the course of the time frame that I've been on Facebook and in Tranont, I've probably done 4 different pudding demos already on a live stream on my actual page. And every single time I've gotten new people interested in the product.
All right. And so when I'm done, do I show the product?
I typically don't. I'll show the capsule. Like I'll pull open the capsule and I'll just show that because again, it's a pill, right? Everybody's seen supplements before. So if you show the bottle, then people may find that, like look for the bottle, they'll go search life and they might be able to find it. So keep them curious.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, thank you so much, Veronica, for the presentation and the training. This has really been very informative. I know I only asked you for an hour, so you've given us more than an hour, but I really, really do appreciate your time this evening.
Absolutely. I hope y'all got some value out of that.
Definitely, most definitely.
Awesome.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it.
All right. All right.
I love it. Thank you guys for your time. Go
Thank you,
Facebook
Veronica.
Live.
Thank you,
Go
Veronica.
share your story with the world.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't already know, Veronica has a bot set up on Facebook Messenger as well that provides you information on when calls are and other tips and tutorials on how to build a business.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I used to talk to that bot all the time.
Don't try to communicate with it. It doesn't communicate back.
I know now.
I put the link in there though. If you guys haven't subscribed to it, just go to that link, bit.ly/bot opt-in. And in the near future, of course, we don't have, my husband and I work a lot, so we don't get all the time in the world. But when I have more time, we will start putting sequential like training through that bot system, which is like consumable video content that you guys can actually start learning about just how to grow your business, product knowledge, all that fun stuff. So subscribe to it now and you guys will stay in touch with everything as it rolls down the pipeline.
I have one more quick question for you, Veronica. So on your Facebook page, you have a couple of your websites, the bit.ly like short codes there, the short URLs. When it comes to our store page, right, which is, tranont.com/whatever.
Yes.
Would you suggest doing like a bit.ly redirect? I mean, there's a lot of reasons for doing bit.ly too. You can actually see the traffic through that link too on their dashboard, which is nice. But and you say try not to use Tranont anywhere on your page, on your content. So would you suggest doing a redirect URL like that?
So personally, not on your personal profile, I wouldn't. What I use that bit.ly for, like redirect to my Brizo Pure site or my Tranont site, I'll use those and send them through Messenger. And I still like to use the bit.ly just so I could do exactly what you're talking about, tracking it on the back end of how many people click through it. But I don't put it on my personal Facebook page because again, I want them to reach out to me or I want to keep them curious. Whereas if I post it on that Facebook page, they're going to go find it and they're going to make their own opinion and that's it.
Right.
So those links that I have on there link to like my Instagram so people can find me on Instagram. And then I think the other one links to I have two Instagram accounts.
The Facebook group, I think, is the other one.
Yeah, one's a Facebook group, one's an Instagram page for my personal Instagram, and then I have a financial mastery Instagram. So I've linked all three of them. And that's just so that people can find the other ways to get in contact with me. So if you guys are on one social media platform, you don't really need to worry about linking anything else. But once you get into the point where you're growing into multiple social channels, then eventually you want to link like your Instagram page because not everybody's on Facebook. There are some people, like there's a whole different demographic of people that I talk to on Instagram that aren't even on Facebook. So again, here's what I tell people. If you're brand new, start with one platform, start with Facebook, and then you can always expand out to other platforms in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Any other questions?
So Instagram and Facebook are two different beasts. What is the psychology behind Instagram? Is it still that peaking? Like, how do you get the followers to really engage with the followers?
Okay, so here's the short answer. It is the same type of concept. Yes, using storytelling, using long crafted posts that tell your story or educational content. But the longer answer is I've actually bought a course on Instagram and I kid you not, I dived. It was like a 48-hour course.
Wow.
It taught me how to actually gain exposure on Instagram. So there is a whole mechanic that I don't have enough time to get into today, but I will tell you, here's what the pillars are because I have them written down.
Okay.
Because Instagram is a little bit different. I'll just tell you what the pillars are. And again, if you guys want to learn it later, it might be something we can do a training on later. But I would rather in the beginning have you guys focus on Facebook just because there's a lot of really good demographics of people that you could still find on Facebook. Instagram is very younger. I've noticed there's a very younger demographic that tends to be on Instagram. That at least that's who I find that I'm attracting a lot of. And so the pillars, hold on, I'm almost there. The pillars to actual Instagram is, where is it? Right here. Is this it? No, I have it written down. The first one is content. I know that. So it's about obviously making sure you have curiosity content, which is what I was explaining earlier. And then the second one is consistency. So again, it's making sure that you're consistently putting out content, because if you start posting on Instagram and then stop posting, you disappear from people even being able to find you easily. So consistency is the other one. And then I don't know why I can't find it here, but the other two, if I remember them off the top of my head, I do remember the other two. It's market research, because there is a little bit of market research to figure out who you're trying to target, right? There's so many different demographics that you want to make sure your content is relatable to the people you're trying to target. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're marketing CBD fluid. Who are you going to be targeting? People in pain, right? Well, people in pain is super broad. And so you want to even bring that down and identify like a target market. So if you want to try to bring that down to an identifiable target market, you might be, let's say you work in the education space. This is perfect because you're in the education space. So you might want to target teachers who are in pain. Just an example I'm using. So your content would be around targeting those types of people. And then the fourth one is hashtags. So on Facebook, hashtags are not very relevant, but on Instagram, hashtags are a major thing to make you identifiable.
It's
You've
Instagram.
seen like,
if I could kind of add to that, Instagram is kind of Facebook and Twitter made a baby. And with Instagram, it's more image and video based content, and you know the text content is a lot more shorter and to the point, and using those hashtags.
Correct. So what I do, Mary, right now on Instagram, because I'm not posting on my physical wall on Instagram right now, I'm literally using my same stories that I post on Facebook, and I'm using stories right now. And stories are just as powerful on Instagram as they are on Facebook. And you could take the exact same content and just post it up.
Okay, cool.
Without overwhelming yourself with so many things. Like post it once on Facebook and then just post it on Instagram again.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Well, I've found this very useful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You guys go out and crush it. Social media is amazing. We have the power in our fingertips. It's just, you just got to stay consistent with it. And again, if you're brand new to it, just be patient with yourself. It will take you some time, but it'll get easier and easier and easier and easier.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey.
Well, thank you. Bye-bye. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye, Mary.